most important meal of the day and what gets you going.
Cream cheese, tomato, capers, and lox.
And whether beaten or rolled, grilled or boiled, breakfast crows in the morning as the meal America wakes up to.
I could eat cereal all day, any day.
From Nashville to New York and all points west, we're searching for the freshest, biggest, and most sumptuous breakfast experiences across America.
It's delicious. That's really good, yeah.
So whether it's a Belgian waffle or an onion bagel,
not all bagels are alike, but those are excellent.
A Denver omelet or a short stack,
oh, a pancake,
or the perfect late-night fixer-upper.
You can have a beer with your pancakes.
That's actually awesome.
We've got the breakfast you crave.
It's the breakfast of champions.
Fabulous. It's perfectly done.
So join us as we wake up and smell the coffee and journey to breakfast paradise.
We'd like a kid-sized Fruit Loops with sliced bananas.
80% of America wakes up to breakfast.
Health grain bagel with regular cream cheese, please.
And while for some others it happens a little later in the day, one thing is for sure.
I'm just gonna keep it simple. Banana nut muffin.
We all enjoy a good breakfast, no matter what it is.
My favorite's the banana split waffle. With the chocolate sauce and the ice cream and the bananas.
Cocoa Puffs, Lucky Charms, and Whoppers, and then chocolate syrup. Probably not the healthiest breakfast, but it's really good.
The word breakfast comes from the Latin meaning the first meal after the evening fast. For most of the world, breakfast started out as just gruel or a hot drink. And in medieval England, bread soaked with red wine was a popular morning pick-me-up.
Good for a hangover.
In America, what we ate changed as America changed. Native Americans munched on cornbread, while early settlers breakfasted on a quickly cooked porridge called hasty pudding. The 19th century brought a greater variety of foods and larger portions. Breakfasts were suddenly heavy in meats.
The bacon. Love the bacon.
While today's most traditional American breakfast dishes like omelets and pancakes have been enjoyed since ancient Greece, the story of breakfast in America truly begins down on the farm. So naturally, our search for breakfast paradise begins with the Heartland, America's breadbasket, in Urbandale, Iowa, just northwest of Des Moines. Here in Urbandale, they show off their best at the county fair, are known for the Living History Farms Museum, and are famous for a restaurant right next door that's dedicated to those hardworking people who feed America.
Good morning. Welcome to the Machine Shed.
The Machine Shed is dedicated to the American farmer, and this is it.
The state of Iowa is all about family and about farming and agriculture, and that's what the Machine Shed displays.
The old-time breakfast at 5 a.m., supper at 11, and dinner at 4. It embodies the soul of the American farmer.
From the outside, it may look like just another farm building for storing machinery, but it's also a place where visitors and locals alike come to get the best of farm cooking, just without having to do chores.
My favorite thing on the menu is the Farmer's Benedict by far.
The French toast is huge.
They have the country skill, it's great as well.
The cinnamon rolls are too good to be true. They're warm. The frosting is one of the best frostings with lots of cinnamon.
All right, breakfast is ready.
I'm Mike Whalen, the founder of the Iowa Machine Shed, and the restaurant that's dedicated to the American farmer.
In 1978, Mike opened the first Machine Shed. It was just a cozy 100-seat family-style restaurant, but he had a vision and the drive to be the best.
It was me and a bunch of kids. I was 24. The old guy at the place was the chef at 32, and we really didn't know what we were doing, but we did have a 5-word constitution that was that we were dedicated to the Iowa farmer. And we took that seriously. That meant that we were going to do things right and make farmers proud. It meant that we used real whipped cream on our pies and the best ingredients.
It's the down-home kind of food that you used to get at your mom's or your grandma's.
The food is made from scratch. It's homemade goodness through Iowa quality products.
It's supposed to, I guess, be like home, and maybe a little bit of the idealized vision of home. It's supposed to make you feel comfortable, kind of like the chair that's broken in a little bit. Maybe not be the fanciest chair, but it's the one you want to sit in, and that's the Machine Shed.
The Machine Shed experience begins when you arrive. Inside, there are the farm tool-covered walls, the servers dressed in bib overalls, and the good old-fashioned farm-filling breakfast. In Iowa, this is the only place you need to go for Midwest comfort food.
Ambience of the whole building. I mean, you've got tractor rides, farm equipment. It's a relaxed atmosphere, and the food is served much like you would get it at your breakfast table at home.
The Iowa Machine Shed, we're kind of known for big, huge portions of food, and you'll definitely see that on the trays.
And the food is so good here. I started out in 28 bibs and I'm up to size 40.
Every week, the Machine Shed cooks up 450 pounds of thick Iowa bacon, 350 pounds of fresh pork sausage, and 500 gigantic cinnamon rolls. And they're also famous for starting an incredible edible campaign that's got them cracking over 14,000 eggs a week.
We're the National Egg Restaurant of the Year when we did our I Love Eggs program.
You can get an extra egg if you just say you like eggs.
When I came up with this little jingle that went, I love eggs, do, 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 do. And it said, come on in and say, I love eggs, you get a free egg.
Tell us that you just love eggs. You get an extra egg. We'll make it 3.
We, of course, like to say, I love eggs, and get a little more with the extra eggs.
Well, I'm a farm kid, so I've been coming here a long time. The food is like home cooking. There's a lot of it. It's always good.
While famous for its classic all-American menu, this Iowan icon has a belly full of house favorites, starting with the Farmer's Daughter, which includes eggs any style, a choice of smoked ham, country sausage, or 2 strips of thick-cut bacon. And the Hungry Man's Breakfast, which includes everything in the Farmer's Daughter, plus 2 additional eggs and a pair of enormous buttermilk pancakes. And then there's their monster cinnamon roll.
One of the things that people always talk about here is our huge cinnamon rolls.
We'll have this probably for a little snack today, and then for breakfast tomorrow.
It's always fun to see somebody the first time they come into the restaurant and just the shocked look on their face when we serve this huge roll.
Well, the cinnamon rolls are the size of your head, and they are just, they're great.
The cinnamon rolls at the Machine Shed are so big that to make just 10 rolls takes 5 quarts of milk, 5 pounds of butter, and 20 eggs.
And here's our finished product. Now that it is cooled for 30 minutes, we can apply our icing. World famous Machine Shed icing. It's a secret recipe, basically corn syrup and confectioner sugar, a little bit of vanilla. And as you can see, this is 1 portion.
All right, let's get started with one of the cinnamon rolls.
I could be digging into it for 3 days.
We go through hundreds of cinnamon rolls a week, and a lot of them are carried home.
Definitely never have to worry about leaving the Machine Shed hungry. It's not even a possibility.
Machine Shed is breakfast in America.
When Breakfast Paradise returns, we head for some down-home Southern cooking.
Oh, I'm not an expert on Yankee breakfast, but I can tell you a lot about Southern breakfast.
And track down a secret recipe that even tempted Martha Stewart.
Yeah, Martha thought she was going to get that recipe, but didn't happen.
America is famous for its hearty regional breakfast. In Texas, they love their chicken fried steak with fried potatoes and fried grits. In the Midwest, favorite dishes are rich in eggs, cooked meats, and baked goods. But perhaps no region is more known for its morning cooking than down in Dixie.
Because it's Southern.
Great food.
Our next Breakfast Paradise stop steers us south of the Mason-Dixon line, down Highway 100 to the northern end of the Natchez Trace Parkway and Nashville, Tennessee. Here in Music City, USA, people come to see the reconstructed Parthenon, listen to them sing at the Grand Ole Opry, and eat at a place famous for its Southern hospitality and good down-home country breakfasts.
It's like you going to grandmama's house when you come down here.
Good home country cooking, only better.
I do not cook breakfast. We go to the Loveless.
I'm Jesse Goldstein. I'm the operations manager here at the Loveless, but you can call me Uncle Jesse.
Here at the Loveless Cafe, they've been serving up Southern fare for over half a century.
Oh, I'm not an expert on Yankee breakfast, but I can tell you a lot about Southern breakfast. And of course, you gotta have country ham. You gotta have those biscuits. Of course, if you're around here, you need some hash brown casserole, and I love our stone ground grits.
That's the winner, the hash brown casserole. It's the best.
I think in the hustle and bustle of today, so many people have lost that connection with what it's like to sit down around a table and have a home-cooked meal. They run in, they run out, they drive through, and so many of our people come here from very long distances all over the world to kind of step back in time, to find some people that are going to remember you, going to take care of you, touch you on your shoulder when you sit down, and really welcome you and enjoy your presence.
Southern cooking stems from the rich history of the South. It unites foods made by Native Americans, rural farmers, and African Americans. Its ingredients like corn cornmeal, okra, black-eyed peas, sweet sorghum, along with pork and poultry that are its backbone.
Sorghum is actually similar to a sugar cane. It's technically a grass. And they crush it and cook the juice down long and slow, and that's another thing that a lot of people enjoy with their biscuits.
While everyone knows Southern fried chicken, no meal shows off Southern cooking better than breakfast. With its cured meats, gravy-drenched biscuits, and hominy grits.
Oh yeah, gravy, around here gravy runs through our veins. It's essential.
Totally love the grits. They're great. You can't get this anywhere else. It's a perfect spot to come and enjoy a huge breakfast that'll last you for the rest of the day.
The cafe opened in 1952 when Lon and Annie Loveless set up picnic tables outside their small country farmhouse and began selling fried chicken, homemade preserves, and Annie's secret recipe biscuits from their front door to travelers driving through Nashville.
The Natchez Trace Parkway goes 444 miles from Natchez, Mississippi, and ends right here beside our front entrance.
With their success, it wasn't long before Lon and Annie turned their rustic farmhouse into a cozy 75-seat roadside cafe, complete with a 14-room motel in the back, which they called the Loveless Cafe and Motel. More than 5 decades and 3 owners later, the newly renovated and expanded Loveless Cafe remains a true Tennessee tradition where locals and travelers continue to drop in for good home country cooking and delight in Annie's world-famous biscuits, a secret recipe which remains unchanged to this day.
It's very good. I mean, it's just the biscuits that my grandmother made.
And obviously, the biscuits are great.
They're like the bomb. I mean, they're the best.
Keeper of the secret recipe is Carol Fay, better known around here as the Biscuit Lady.
I see people in the store where I live at, and they go, "Hey, you're that Biscuit Lady, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, I am."
I have a picture of her on my BlackBerry. She's quite famous, yeah.
I've been working here at the Loveless Cafe in Nashville, Tennessee for 28 years. I can't tell you my secret. My biscuits are a secret. I've served Vince Gill, Amy Grant, Martha Stewart. I was on the Martha Stewart show. She said, "I hear the biscuit recipe is a secret." I said, "Yeah." "Well, you sure we can't get that secret?" I said, "No." So she said, "Well, what goes in them?" I said, "Some flour." And she said, "What else?" I said, "These hands." Yeah, Martha thought she was going to get that recipe, but didn't happen.
Our most popular menu items obviously start with the biscuits. Everyone comes here for the biscuits.
The butter is the best part of them. Put that butter on that top. Some good eating.
Oh, I like the biscuits. Yeah, I grew up eating food like this.
In a week, we make about 30,000. It's unbelievable.
After that, it's country ham, the omelets, barbecue and eggs, and other things that you'll find here that I think are uniquely Loveless and definitely Southern are the hash brown casserole.
No matter who you are or where you're from, the Loveless Cafe will take you back to the days when life was slower and breakfast took a lot longer.
And it's just really a good flavor. It represents the South.
The Loveless was actually up for sale, and there was a buyer that was going to bulldoze it. Those of us that are from Nashville certainly understood that it wasn't something we could lose. We have people in here every day that have been coming here their whole lives.
We've been coming here since I was 2. Ever since we moved to Nashville. About 30 years now.
We have a great time here. People come here for a home-cooked experience and something that comes across as really authentic, because it is.
This is unique to Nashville. When people come here, they'll remember this and say, "Oh, I went to the Loveless Cafe."
When Breakfast Paradise returns, we stay right here in Nashville to visit the king of country pancakes.
We were in Gourmet Magazine.
Then we head east to New York City, where we find a waffle wonderland.
My favorite is the banana split waffle with the chocolate sauce and the ice cream and the bananas.
It's a thin, flat cake made from a sweet egg batter that's baked on a griddle or fried in a pan. But whether you call it a flapjack, blintz, crepe, griddle, or Johnny cake, it's still a pancake. First appearing in cookbooks as far back as 1439, the pancake has tempted every culture since ancient Rome.
Oh, a pancake.
But while pancake recipes vary around the world, in America, this warm and sweet breakfast treat is famous for its fluffy, light texture, topped with maple syrup, butter, jam, fresh fruit, or even honey.
Sometimes I go for the Swedish, which have lingonberry, and sometimes the cherry is always good.
Our syrupy search takes us next to another morning mecca in the breakfast paradise of Nashville, Tennessee. Here among the Smoky Mountains, the locals love Nashville's first and oldest hot cake hotspot, the Pancake Pantry.
It's the best breakfast food you can find.
This is where my wife and I used to date when we were both in college up here in 63. Bob was running it when we first started coming here.
Opened in 1961 by Bob Baldwin, the pantry wasn't the first to serve up this sweet cake. But with Bob's commitment to excellence, the Pancake Pantry quickly became a Tennessee tradition.
We were in Gourmet magazine for them, so the pancakes are a little famous on their own.
It's the real butter, the honest-to-goodness fresh whipped cream, and everything made from scratch. It's a tradition that's been a family affair for over 45 years.
I'm David Baldwin, and I've been in the restaurant ever since my father opened it up in 1961. Shortly after that, I was in the kitchen cooking. By the time I was 12, my brother and I were running the kitchen. It's just in our blood. I'm fourth generation restaurant serving the public, so it's just something I'm good at.
You know, the atmosphere's great, the food's great.
People with character who talk to you and play with you and make it just a fun experience.
It's just a neat place to come eat breakfast.
Quarterback Ingle Martin might be playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, but this Tennessee boy knows where his heart lies.
I was born and raised here in Nashville. Been coming here since I can remember. It's always been a great place to come on Saturday mornings to get some fresh pancakes and cover them with whatever you want, chocolate, strawberries, whatever.
In 1 week, Pancake Pantry griddles up over 13,000 pancakes, breaking 8,500 eggs. And the lines, well, they're out the door.
The line wrapped all the way around the block.
We waited for about 45 minutes just to get in.
People drive by every day. They stick their heads out the window and they yell at people in the line, "It's just pancakes."
You're lucky to get in here.
It was crazy.
Energy just electric. People are hungry in the morning. They want their coffee. They want their carbohydrates. I had pancakes and eggs this morning.
Yeah, bacon and eggs with pancakes.
Pecan pancakes.
Pancakes coming out of the kitchen so fast, we're just snatching and grabbing, going as hard as we can. It's great here. Everything's good.
With a menu that's more than doubled since 1961, the Pancake Pantry is a carb lover's paradise, serving up fresh stacks of buttermilk classics, luscious peach roll-ups, and bear-shaped pancakes with chocolate chip buttons.
Well, we have 23 kinds of pancakes now. They're all secret recipes.
The most popular pancake is sweet potato. It doesn't sound fabulous, but it is incredible.
Our actual real sweet potato flakes in the batter. And it's one of our unique pancake batters that we've had it here on the menu for the last 15 years. Let's start out with our oil. Each case gets 16 eggs. We'll go ahead and add buttermilk. Our actual mix is a secret recipe. You're looking for something not as thick as a milkshake, but just enough so that when you cook it, you want a little bit thicker than cake though, if you were baking a cake. Then we'll take this, we'll put it in the walk-in. For about an hour and a half to 2 hours, it'll thicken up. That's the color, that orange color. That's where those sweet potato flakes have dissolved. And we'll place them on our grill here. We sprinkle with powdered sugar and cinnamon. With cinnamon cream and just a little bit of butter because it tastes very good, and our regular homemade maple syrup.
While Pancake Pantry's recipes are the secret to their success, for David, it's all about keeping his father's legacy a part of Nashville's rich history.
Pancake Pantry was just always been a family restaurant. That's what my father wanted to establish.
Stephen came here on the morning of my wedding.
And if I ask my wife where she'd really like to go, the Pancake Pantry's where she wants to go.
While the pantry's piping hot pancakes may be a Tennessee tradition, at our next stop, a crispy cousin of the pancake is selling faster than hotcakes.
I'm a big waffle fan.
Here in the Big Apple, amid all the hustle and bustle, is a quaint, unassuming little bistro where they break bread Belgian style. Welcome to Petite Abbey.
Waffles with strawberries and whipped cream, which is against the rules, but I'm breaking the rules.
There's fruit, there's sugar, there's the waffle, there's everything.
My name is Christophe Jadot. I'm the co-owner of Petite Abbey.
Founded by brothers Christophe, Yves, and David Jadot in 1996, this little taste of Belgium, tucked into New York's trendy Lower East Side, offers a full menu and a continental change of pace to city life for everyone, even if they don't eat waffles.
I like my eggs any time of the day. It's something worth looking forward to, right?
The first location was a small coffee shop like in Belgium, where we kind of reproduce like traditional dishes from Belgium, waffles, hot chocolates. And it was really small, and then we grew and decided to do a bigger restaurant, and here it is.
I've had waffle, I've had French toast, I've had eggs. I'm a local, and I always enjoy it.
Eggs Benedict greatest holiday sauce in here is fantastic.
You have one of the best fries, right, Daddy?
Belgians make good French fries.
And waffles.
That's right. Let's not forget the waffles. An American favorite for its crispy pockets that catch the butter and syrup, the modern waffle actually has its origins in the Middle Ages as a light wafer they'd bake between irons.
You know, the waffle was created just on a heated stone, and then they start making shape into it. So poor people used to eat them. It would replace bread.
It's not like an American waffle, and it's big.
The Big Belgian Waffle was an instant hit when it was introduced to America at the 1964 New York World's Fair. And while the fair is long gone, Petit Abbé continues the tradition, selling up to 1,000 waffles a week. Just don't call it a Belgian waffle.
Well, they call it something different, but yeah.
In Belgium, they call it a Brussels waffle, after the city where it was first made. And at Petit Abbé, you can choose from two kinds of waffles, the Brussels or the Liège.
American are usually more familiar with the Brussels waffle. That's the one they have for breakfast, and you just put powdered sugar on it or whipped cream. The Liège waffle is heavier, sweeter, and you don't put anything on it, because otherwise it would be too sweet, you wouldn't be able to eat it.
It's the fresh eggs, rich cream, and flour that go into making a waffle, but it's knowing how to do it right that makes it perfect.
The whole folding the egg white, it's a whole process. It takes time. You have to be really easily in it.
Look how perfect that is.
Petit Abbé offers 7 different kinds of toppings, from the simple
waffle with strawberry sauce
to the sublime.
My favorite is the banana split waffle with the chocolate sauce and the ice cream and the bananas. That's my favorite.
There's a waffle that'll satisfy even the most ravenous sugar craving.
It's delicious. That's really good, yeah.
Perfectly done. The waffle is like really moist and fluffy, and those strawberries are fabulous.
And we put fruits and whipped cream. We put ice cream on it. Anything that the customers request, except for bacon and sausage. We won't do that. I make waffles sweet and not salty. We'll put it on the side, you know.
In just over a decade, this charming bistro has grown to 4 locations with more to come. And you can see why. It's the blue checkered tables, the posters on the wall, the stacks of Tintin books, and the little bee from whom the cafe takes its name.
We want this place to feel like home. You come here and you'll see 10 strollers on the entrance of the restaurant.
It's super baby friendly. As you can see, they have the crayons, they have the kids' portion meals, which is just perfect.
For us, our philosophy is, to have a great experience.
The wait staff is very lovely.
Food is incredible. The coffee's amazing. I come here every Saturday and I make it a tradition. If I'm here with my friends, my roommate, I'm here, no matter what.
We want you to leave happy, and come back.
It's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
I think this is something for everybody here.
Good, right? Yeah, it's definitely worth coming back to.
Waffles may be New York's favorite Belgian import, but when we return, we visit a place that serves up the morning staple Manhattan natives crave most of all.
New Yorkers love their bagels.
And at this breakfast paradise, they make bagels the old-fashioned way.
Not all bagels are alike. Those are excellent.
Some cities are famous for a particular breakfast specialty, but perhaps no breakfast food has a greater association with any one city than the bagel.
People just enjoy a good bagel, especially a New Yorker. New Yorkers love their bagel.
Our breakfast paradise journey takes us next to New York City's Greenwich Village. And while you can find bagel shops on almost every corner of the Big Apple's 5 boroughs, for many New Yorkers, Murray's Bagels tops them all.
Absolutely top. And I don't know what it is about these bagels, but it's incredible. Not all bagels are alike. Those are excellent.
It's delicious.
For almost 15 years, Murray's Bagels has been a vital part of the Greenwich Village community. In the bins behind the counter, you'll find 16 different types of freshly made artisan bagels. And while other places sell machine-made bagels, at Murray's, they're hand-rolled and made the old-fashioned way for a truly one-of-a-kind experience and taste.
Hi, I'm Adam Pomerantz, the owner of Murray's Bagels in Greenwich Village. I opened Murray's Bagels back in '96. I mean, even when I was a kid, I knew how to spot a really good hand-rolled bagel. It's my soul food, really.
In the mid-1990s, Adam left a career on Wall Street for something far closer to his heart and his stomach. He found the small storefront in the village and on a shoestring budget, opened Murray's Bagels, named for his dad, Murray.
History of the bagel, they say some guy in Poland or wherever, Austria, made it to honor the king.
He was a big horseman. So the baker decided to make a bread product in the shape of a stirrup. And that's how the bagel was created.
I don't believe it.
When the bagel originated here in the United States at the turn of the century, it was mainly for Eastern European Jews who settled on the Lower East Side. Now, everyone's eating bagels.
Bagels are especially popular with those who eat their breakfast on the run. And every day, regulars come in for a quick nosh and sometimes a not-so-quick conversation with Adam or Murray.
They love it here. They hang out here. They usually are here early in the morning. They're here late at night.
Bagels are probably the best in the area, I'd have to say.
And I eat a bagel with tons of butter. It's all I eat here. I'm sure I know everything is wonderful, but that's all I want. And then I'm back in my skin.
It's really good.
These days, while most bagel shops have a machine to make their bagels, Murray's Bagels has gone back to the way bakeries once made them 30 years ago, by hand. And that's the only way they make more than 4,000 bagels daily.
To make a true bagel, a real bagel, they have to be hand-rolled. And it's really an art to roll bagels. Not many hand-rollers out there. It's really not a secret for people who want to make bagels the old-fashioned way. 4 basic ingredients: high-gluten flour, water, malt syrup, and salt. Unlike any bread, bagels are actually boiled, then baked. The reaction between the malt, the flour, and the hot water, it gives it that really thick crust. And really, this is what gives it the crust. It's the boiling process.
It is crispy on the outside.
A bagel that's hand-rolled has that certain character. Every bagel is a little unique. They're all a little different, and they taste much better. So, okay, these are ready to come out.
And it's totally fresh. I'm a fresh person, too. I know fresh.
Absolutely. If you want a fresh, delicious bagel that's handmade and custom-made for you, this is the place.
They're freshly baked. Yeah, they're fresh. They're firm. You know, I don't mess with toasting them. Neither do they.
Theory on a toasted bagel: if the bagel is warm or hot, why do you want to toast it?
Bagel purists agree that toasting is strictly forbidden, but when it comes to toppings, they're all over the board.
Most common is just a bagel with cream cheese, a bagel with a schmear. And a schmear is just a little bit of cream cheese.
I'm having an everything bagel with white fish.
I have a salt bagel with cream cheese, regular cream cheese.
I almost get the same thing. Sesame bagel with light scallion, cream cheese and tomatoes.
Cream cheese, tomato, capers, and lox. And I saw Leonardo DiCaprio here yesterday. So it's a win-win situation.
Another Leo is also seen here every day, and it's a favorite of the man who is Adam's inspiration. It's his dad, Murray.
Leo was lox, eggs, and onions. Years ago, they made Leos. Leos was very popular amongst the Jewish on the Lower East Side. Everyone ordered their Leo Sunday morning. And people still love their Leos on Sundays.
There are also never any day-old bagels because they're made fresh throughout the day. And as for the cold bagels, well, that's all a part of Murray's Bagels' good neighbor policy.
City Harvest comes by every morning, takes the day-old bagels, and feeds the homeless with those bagels. So at the end of the day, we're closing up and we have loads of bagels. I know they're not going to waste, so it's a good feeling.
Judging from the lines of happy customers, good vibes are served up with every bagel.
The bagel is the perfect breakfast food.
Everything is really fresh. The bagels are amazing.
When people walk in, they're happy to get their bagel.
And it has some of the best-looking counter boys in the area.
Oh yeah,
so.
And they love the students. Right. So we like each other.
You know, that's been a big plus.
It's delicious, like I'm meant to say.
Every once in a while, this voice in my head, my higher self, says, Murray's. Murray's. You must go to Murray's.
I saw Murray bagel place. I said, this is great. I I was the first customer, and we've been friends ever since.
When it comes to breakfast fast foods, bagels are on top. But when Breakfast Paradise returns, we go west to a place that serves America's all-time favorite morning meal.
Everything from Fruity Loops to Reese's Puffs, Captain Crunch.
And that's practically all they serve.
I could eat cereal all day.
Every morning across America, people are scrambling to eat breakfast. And our most popular morning meal comes straight out of a box. It's cereal.
I have cereal 24/7. That's all I eat.
The next stop on our search for bodacious breakfast takes us to Santa Cruz, California. Famous for its boardwalk in UC Santa Cruz, you'll also find an all-day breakfast destination where all they serve is cereal in any combination you crave, called Cereality, the original cereal bar and cafe.
You never would think of a cereal bar. It's cool and it's delicious.
Whenever I wake up early enough for breakfast, I'll walk down to Cereality.
Come to Cereality about 2 or 3 times a week, man. I love it.
It all started in 2003 when the two court jesters of breakfast, David Roth and Rick Basher, came up with an absurdly simple fast food concept for a kitschy cafe where all they'd sell is cereal, hot and cold, to tickle the kid in all of us. So they created Cereality, where anyone can mix up scoops of over 24 kid-tested, mother-approved cereals.
Everything from Fruity Loops to Reese's Puffs, Captain Crunch, Raisin Bran.
Then crown it all with any of their over 30 toppings, candies, cookies, and syrups.
Banana, strawberry, chocolate,
Marshmallows, graham cracker bits,
maple syrup,
and almonds.
And it's all served up in their signature Chinese food takeout container.
You get a large bowl, you can get 3 cereals in 3 times.
They were offering 7 essential vitamins and about 417 unnecessary ones. But the idea hit big, with franchises popping up across the country.
It's just so much fun. It's something you've never tried before, and it's really family friendly, especially for small kids. They love the concept.
Our goal here is really to have a Saturday morning experience when your biggest decisions that need to be made, or which cartoons are you going to watch and which cereal are you going to eat.
There's a treat because we don't have a lot of these kind of cereals at home.
It's like you can customize your own cereal, but to the ridiculous extent.
I kind of see myself as a super cerealogist.
The devil made me do it. Oh my gosh, you guys should get that.
There are plenty of surprises with Cereality.
Reese's Puffs mixed with Fruit Loops.
We get a banana brown Betty.
We have a few cereal addicts that come into the store.
When you come to Cereality, you can either order from their 16 tried-and-true Scooby Snack-inspired combos.
What's in here is chocolate, chocolate, more chocolate.
Or you can get what they call Cereal My Way.
When someone orders Cereal My Way, it's their own combination. We're here to really indulge your deepest cereal fantasies.
Cheerios, peaches, walnuts, honey, and Special K.
Cocoa Puffs, Lucky Charms, and Whoppers, and then chocolate syrup. Probably not the healthiest breakfast, but it's really good.
The strangest combination that I've seen in the store is
Fruity Pebbles, Captain Crunch, Marshmallow Charms, and Pop Rocks.
The worst part was Pop Rocks on top.
Believe it or not, it's really, really, really good.
If they go and do something wild and it doesn't turn out, they can come back again and start over.
Whether it's ready to eat or hot and sweet, at Cereality they go through the crunchy stuff by the ton.
We go through 20,000 scoops a week.
Just remember to leave room for the milk.
Milk in a week, 38 gallons if you throw in the rice and soy that we also offer.
I'm having soy milk. I'm having cow.
It was in 1894 that the world's first ready-to-eat cold cereal was invented by accident at a health spa in Battle Creek, Michigan. As the story goes, Dr. John Henry Kellogg overcooked a batch of wheat grains, making it stale. Not one to waste, he processed the batch anyway. But instead of making a soft dough, he'd created crispy flakes. Well, the tasty cereal was a health spa hit, and by 1906, Kellogg's Toasted Corn Flakes was available across the country.
95% of Americans enjoy cereal, and actually over half of Americans had cereal this morning. Cold or hot cereal today? We are busiest in the morning and then late at night. That late night rush of people that are just ready to fulfill their deep, dark cereal cravings.
It's like a fruit explosion of cereal. Yeah, it's actually awesome.
I love mixing cereals. It's fun. It's good.
Ask anyone here for their favorite childhood cereal. They won't even hesitate.
Rice Krispies, because of listening to the Bull and the Snap, Crackle, and Pop. I remember thinking that was really fun.
Captain Crunch! Lucky Charms are magically delicious.
It's like a living room with couches all over the place and a TV, just like home.
Cereality is an amazing place where you can just come in and be a kid again.
We want to offer a place where you can meet friends and family, relax. It's always Saturday morning.
I want to come back here every weekend. I want to come back here every minute.
They're great!
They say you should always have a good breakfast to start your day. But when we return, we discover breakfast has become a great way to end the day as well. At our final stop in Santa Monica, California, breakfast is even hotter after dark than it is at dawn.
Pancakes, waffles, it really sops up the alcohol.
Love to eat breakfast.
I'm excited about this.
No matter what time of day.
I think people like breakfast any time of the day. It's an easy thing to eat.
But today, breakfast has arrived at the final link in its evolutionary chain, reaching beyond the early riser crowd to become a favorite of night owls. Our breakfast paradise journey concludes with Eggs After Dark in Santa Monica, California. This laid-back oceanside community might be famous for its beaches and worshipped for its surf, but when the sun goes down, it's infamous for a cool after-hours hotspot just a few blocks from where classic Route 66 meets the Pacific Ocean that serves late-night breakfast with a rocking twist.
Swingers can get really crazy at night. That's when it's happening.
I've been here at 2 a.m. before, and there's a wait at the door.
Swingers is kind of legendary. I mean, it's just always been that place. It's always been open. You can always get something good.
Back in 2000, nightclub impresario Sean McPherson created Swingers by mixing up 1 part all-American diner with 1 part funhouse and a whole lot of good food, and at the same time created a Southland late-night institution.
Sean McPherson wanted to create a very free-loving, open environment where people can just come here, have fun. It's very Love American style, very 60s, but very hip and cool and trendy. Coming here on the late nights, the music is much, much louder. The lights are a lot darker.
I go to Swingers about once a week.
It can definitely get rowdy. It's a lot like a party in here.
It's really popular late at night, definitely.
The moment you walk into Swingers, you know this place is different from any other place you've been. It's the 60s inspired menu, the purple Andy Warhol cows, the waiters dancing to the loud rock music, and just the fun-loving vibe with breakfast anytime.
Can I get the French toast? French toast, do you want strawberries or bananas? I'll have a strawberries.
To keep it simple, banana nut muffin.
Breakfast is a great late night food, and it's very sobering.
Good for a hangover.
People are coming in here 6-7 days a week, day, night, drunk or sober.
Pancakes, waffles, it really sops up the alcohol.
While famous for its pancakes, waffles, and omelets, this hipster hangout stays close to its roots with dishes like huevos rancheros and their protein breakfast, featuring fresh egg whites, spinach, and grilled chicken. But those aren't the only things that have the crowds coming back.
Energy is really hopping. We have music going. People are ordering breakfast. Everyone's just really fun here. It's a really fun crowd. Good energy.
You can have a beer with your pancakes.
We have organic produce, organic eggs. We also do a lot of vegan items, so we stick very strongly to having vegan and vegetarian-friendly dishes on the menu.
That amazing vegan cheesecake.
I like vegan burrito. I'm trying something else tonight.
There's healthy food, but there's also like good, sweet junk food.
You go guys, anything else?
Perfect. But if I talk though, I won't be able to eat as fast. Oh yeah, this is where it's at. It's heavenly. Perfect.
Of course, with the star-studded Malibu colony just down the road, it's only natural to have the occasional celeb popping into the mix.
The different celebrities that come into Swingers range from Tom Hanks to Janet Jackson, who loves our turkey Swiss burger, as a matter of fact. The movie Knocked Up was filmed here. The director is actually a regular here.
Blockbuster cameo and celebrity clientele might be a restaurant's ultimate bragging rights, but Swingers doesn't let it go to its head.
You get a whole different mix of friends that become family started.
So can I go ahead and get the rest of your orders?
Because it has such a diverse crowd. I mean, there's really fun people. Not only the people who are eating, the wait staff. I mean, really pretty people.
It just makes it such a unique environment.
I think the attitude here is just one of friendliness and like everyone. Like, I know that sounds kind of corny, but it's like it's a family here.
This reminds you of home growing up, and your mama used to cook you eggs and scrambled eggs with cheese and toast and pancakes. This makes you feel good.
You can get anything you want here. And that's paradise, I think.
Nighttime is the time to come to Swingers. You want to see some action, meet some people, have some good food, and stay out even later.
I like that it's a diner, but you can also get organic, fresh food at any time.
Usually if you're eating past 1 or 2 in the morning, you're eating crap. So it's a nice, healthy alternative.
This food's incredibly wholesome, warm and fresh. It's a perfect late night meal. I love it.
Breakfast. It's what gets us up in the morning.
We haven't had any cereal fights yet.
And for some, it's what puts them to bed.
I can eat breakfast anytime.
But whether it's sunrise or sunset,
I wish they were open at 2 o'clock in the morning.
For most of us, breakfast is a meal we crave any time of day.
Milk and grains and sometimes fruits and nuts. Great home-cooked food. It's awesome.
It's a wonderful bagel.
Eggs Benedict over spinach.
And nothing like a country biscuit.
With whipped cream and powdered sugar.
You can't get this anywhere else.
Breakfast in America.